Hello, I am Alexander from BotCity, and in this video I will show you how to deploy the bots you created using Python with the help of BotCity Maestro, which will help you manage your automations and monitor their execution. Before we start, there are some prerequisites you should be aware of. First, make sure you have access to the BotCity Maestro platform. Then, make sure you have access to a host machine with Python and pipe installed on it. Now, a host machine, it could be a virtual machine you have access to, or a physical machine you have physical access to. You also need Java installed on both machines. Then you should download the runner and the bot CLI from the links in the description below. Also, keep an eye open for the specific requisites for your host machine. If you're running Windows, you will need Microsoft Visual C++. But if you are running Linux, then you will need some system packages to be installed on your machine. This tutorial has 7 steps. In the first one, we will simply log in to the BotCity Maestro platform. In step 2, we will set up our host machine, which includes checking if it has Python installed on it. Also, use pipe to install the virtual env package. In step 3, we will set up the runner on the host machine, which means we will download, extract it, and then configure it with our credentials. In step 4, we will use BotCLI's commands to deploy our bot to the host machine. In step 5, we will create an activity on BotCity Maestro, which contains information to the runner about how to run our robot. In step 6, we will create a task using the BotCLI's commands. And in step 7, we will run a final test to make sure everything is working. Step 1. Access the BotCity Maestro platform and log in with your credentials. Now click Dev Environment and you will see this screen. Here you can see 3 important information that will be used later. Your user, your key, and this is also your workspace. Here you could also check out what bots are registered to your Maestro platform, what activities you have already created, what machines you have registered, and also what systems you are running. Part 2. Now we need to set up our host machine. The host machine can be a physical machine we have access to, or it could be a virtual machine we're going to access to a program such as the Remote Desktop Connection Manager. There are many other programs you can use so long as you get access to your host machine. After getting access to your host machine, you gotta make sure that Python is installed and working on it. To do that, you can go to the command prompt and type Python -- version. It is installed. Now type Python -m pipe -- version. And you can see the pipe is installed as well. The host machine only needs one package to be able to run our robots. That package is called virtual env and it can be installed using pipe's install command. Virtual env. Done. Step 3. Upload the runner to the host machine. You can put it wherever you want, but in this case we're going to keep it in the desktop to make it easier to access. Extract it, open the runner folder and go to conf. Open the conf.bcf file and fill it with the information gathered on step 1. After filling the server, login, and key informations, give this machine an ID. It's going to be the name of this host machine and it's going to be used later, so make sure you note it down. Also, take a closer look at the log screen and the log application settings. Setting the log screen to true allows the runner to periodically send a print of the host machine screen to the Maestro so it can be displayed there. The log application instead allows the runner to send its own log file to be displayed in the Maestro. To activate the runner, simply execute the run.bat file and then click Start. The runner is now waiting for new tasks to be created, which can be done by a scheduled activity on the Bot Maestro platform or manually through the bot CLI. Step 4. We will use the command line to deploy our bot to the host machine. To do that, first, download the bot CLI, which you can find at the link below. Then extract it to your computer, but it's convenient to extract it near or even inside your bot folder. Then open the config.properties file and edit it with the information you found on step 1. Now, to use the bot CLI, open the command line and type java-jar botcli.jar and then proceed with whatever command you want to use. In this video, I'll show you a couple, but right now we want to use the machine new command, which is the command we will use to register our host machine. But this is mostly just a command to create a label to identify what robot will go to what machines. The parameters required by this command are just -machine ID equals to, you can choose whatever name you want, but in this case I'm just going with my machine. And then you could, this is optional, but you could use the -access parameter and supply it with an IP address. This is mostly just so you can have a label on the Maestro to identify what machine ID belongs to what IP address. It's not really necessary, it's not really used anywhere, so it's mostly just for your own organization. So in this video we won't really use the access parameter, and let me just clear this place a little bit. Yeah, it's better now. And once we run this command, success. Now we need to upload our bot's executable file, or in this case our bot's package, since we're dealing with Python, to the Bot Maestro platform. To do that, we use the bot CLI's bot deploy command. Receives a bot ID as a parameter, and our bot ID will be first bot. It also receives a version, which is going to be 1.1.0. By the way, there are two options when you're going to insert a parameter. You can use equals and then you do not use quotes, or you could just use quotes. Sometimes quotes work better because you have more freedom to use whatever characters you want. It will have less headaches this way. Anyway, we also need to provide a file path for our bot's executable or package, since we're dealing with Python. If you haven't done so yet, you can go to your bots folder and use one of the provided builders to generate your bot's package. It's going to be inside this folder and it's going to have this name. So we're going to copy this name and we're going to use it as a parameter for our bot deploy command. So that would be dist slash, and then we have to append one last comment, which is stating the technology we're going to use for this deploy, and this technology will be Python. There we go, it's working. Now we have to mark this as the version to be used by the runner. So we can have multiple versions deployed for bot, but then we would have to tell the runner which version to use. And to do that, we use the bot release command like this. The bot release command does not need the file parameter, and it does not need the technology parameter either. It only needs the bot ID that you're trying to release to and the version you want as the default version. There we go. We can check if our bot has been deployed properly by using this command. Bot list. Now, if you append a ID parameter to the bot list, then you will only see bots that matches this ID, so you can see the different versions it has. But without this parameter, it's just going to list every single bot you have in your organization. There we go. The first bot has been registered properly. Step 5. Our bot has been deployed, but in order to run it, we need to tell the runner what to run, and also when, how, and on what machine. To do all that, we can go to the BotCity Maestro platform, click Activities, and click New Activity, and fill the informations. There, I already filled it with the necessary information. The only thing you have to keep in mind is to make sure that you're choosing the right technology, which is Python, and also that you are attaching the right engine, which is the first bot we've just deployed, and the right machine, which is going to be the my machine we have just created as well. The cron schedules string and the scheduling strategy are things that are useful if you want your bot to be executed regularly and automatically through the BotCity Maestro platform. If you want to manually execute your bot, however, you do not need those to fill those fields. So let's just click Save, and there we go. Our first activity has been created. By the way, if you want to edit your newly created activity, you can just hover your mouse right here at the last column and then click Edit. And in this case, I would change the name, label, and description a little bit just to better reflect what it actually is. There we go. Step 6. For those familiar with object-oriented programming, an activity could be seen as a class. A task, meanwhile, could be seen as an instance of our activity. What we want right now is to create a task, an execution instance for our activity. To do that, we're going to use this command right here. It's task create command, which receives a activity label. The activity label for our activity is first bot test, which is what we're going to use right here. You could also add the test parameter and set it to true. In this case, this task could be restarted. Now, restarting a task, it can be very useful, especially during the development stages, because otherwise you would be spamming lots of tasks and most of them are expected to fail because you're still at the development stage. In this case, restarting the same task can help you keep your task queue a lot cleaner. Step 7. As soon as you hit enter on step 6, your task will be created and then it will be started by the runner and you will be able to see your bot running. Let's see if everything has worked out as expected. There we go. It has picked it up. It should open Chrome and then it should do a quick search in Google using the Feeling Lucky button, but right now it's just downloading the dependencies, packages, so it may take a little while. There we go. Bot deployed successfully.